At first glance, the prohibition of Gid HaNasheh seems to be another limitation placed upon consumption of meat. Just like we have to shech the animal and go through the process of malicha, of draining all of the blood, so too we need to remove the sciatic nerve, which can be very costly because it's a very time-consuming and intricate process. But at a deeper glance, this prohibition actually is motivated by a fascinating narrative that leads to this prohibition. Of course, we're familiar with the wrestling match of Yaakov Avinu with the unnamed adversary with the Ish that takes place in Parshat Vayishlach. And the conclusion of that episode is the alkane that therefore, lo yochlu b'nei Yisrael et Gid HaNasheh, therefore, because of what just transpired, we are prohibited from eating this part of the animal. And the question is, well, therefore, because of what that just happened? Is it just the technical injury that Yaakov sustains, which happens in that location? Or is there something more? Is there something deeper about the struggle that Yaakov had, which we are meant to remember every time we eat meat, and every time we specifically pay more for kosher meat? Rav Kook suggests that there is a specific aspect of this episode which is remembered through this halacha. Rav Kook writes that Yaakov struggled violently with this unnamed Ish, Vayavek ish imo adalot hashachar, and that this tumble lasted for hours. This Ish, this unnamed individual, is understood to be the Saro shel Esav, the officer, the guardian angel of Esav. Esav, the hunter man whose tendency was towards violence, towards speaking with his fists, represents something symbolically. There is a way of inhabiting the world in which aggression and violence is the primary way of living. Working towards efforts of warfare and advanced technology, of aggression, is a lifestyle that Esav represents. Says Rav Kook that refraining from eating the Gid HaNasheh is a protest. It's designed to be a protest against aggression. That we demonstrate every time we eat kosher meat, which has the Gid HaNasheh removed, that we are revulsed at this unprovoked aggression and violence that Yaakov endured through the encounter with Esav that night. And we reject the notion of the might, that might makes right, and that terrorizing and subjugating those who are weaker than us is the way that we get ahead. And we may need to be strong and to defend ourselves at times, just like we slaughter animals in an aggressive way in order to be able to provide for our physical needs, but still, when we eat those animals, we are meant to do so in a morally sensible way. And we do so by refraining from eating from that piece of the animal, the sciatic, which allows the animal to stand up strong, to be aggressive. That part of the animal, part of a mammal, of a human as well, is what allows the aggressiveness to manifest. And so by refraining from consuming that piece, we are making a statement that we are avoiding this form of interpersonal interaction. We are aspiring towards a kind of life that is harmonious and that is not defined through aggression and violence. And so that explains the alkane. The alkane lo yochlu, the reason why we refrain from this is to sensitize ourselves to the tendency of human nature to go in the direction of aggression. But by refraining from this piece of the animal, we educate our own human nature to be more peaceful, to be more harmony-seeking. I hope this elevates our cholent eating this Shabbat and helps us appreciate the deeper significance of the mitzvah of not eating the Gid HaNasheh. See you in Shul.